Hello and welcome to this video for 3D World magazine. I'm just going to show you how to use Redshift proxies in Cinema 4D. This is the final scene that we're going to get to. Here you can see my 3 Redshift proxies which are generating the trees here. This is a much more efficient method than using instancing that you would normally use in Cinema 4D, and is one of the benefits of using Redshift, which is this amazingly powerful GPU render engine. So let's begin. If we go to our tree model, this is a tree that I've just downloaded for free from Xfrog. This tree is the one that I want to make a Redshift proxy of. You can see here I've just got my Redshift dome light and a plane just for some ground action. So to export the tree as a Redshift proxy, first of all go File, Export, Redshift Proxy. Choose a location, ideally local to the main master scene that you want to put the proxy file into. And make sure that Selected Objects is available in your export dropdown, otherwise you're going to select the plane and the dome light as well. World origin is fine because it is in the center of our scene, and name prefix, I find RS proxy works fine, just to remind me that this is a Redshift proxy. The name of the proxy file will be your model scene file name. So click on OK. And that brings it in. And at the moment you can just see a bounding box. We can go and change that preview to mesh. And then we can move that around in our scene. And as you can see, there is literally no difference between the master file and the mesh. You'll also find that Redshift proxies make work within your Cinema 4D viewport a lot quicker than an actual instance if you have a lot of them. The viewport responsiveness I found is much quicker with the Redshift proxy. So I'm just going to zero that back into the center, and then I'm going to copy this, edit copy, and go into a blank scene that I have created for this. This is basically the same as scene as we were looking at earlier, I just haven't added the proxies in. So I'm just going to edit and paste, and that will add the proxy tree in. I've got a world which is the generator for my cloner, and I'm just should be able to just drop that into the cloner, and yeah, there we go. The trees are created. Now the materials etc are not working exactly as I'd like them. If we go to Object, Materials from Proxy File, that's not what I want. What I want to do is I want to add a bit of variation into my scene, so I am going to go back to my original tree file and copy my 2 Redshift materials, and then go back into my main file and paste those in. The other thing that I'm going to do is give both of these a prefix, so I'm going to call this one N and this one N trunk, and then I'm going to make sure that materials is set to scene match by name and prefix, and I'm going to give the prefix N, and I'm going to call this one video dot N. Then I'm going to duplicate that proxy and call this one H for high, and then I'm going to duplicate these 2 materials again, H and H, and make sure that the prefix is set to H. What this means is that if I go into the leaf properties in my shader graph, if I set the diffuse color or weight down a bit, you should see the beginnings of a little bit of variation. There you go. If I set it much further down, what you can see here is the fact that by using one Redshift proxy and then duplicating that, you have granular control over your material settings in your master scene rather than having to go back and make a new proxy every time. And I find this a much more efficient method of working with instances than is natively possible within Cinema 4D, and is yet another reason why Redshift is such a fantastic render engine. So I'm just going to bring that up a little bit, maybe back down a little bit more, and then we'll do one final one, and we'll call this one L, just for a slightly lower diffuse. And again, just set your proxies to L. Sorry, your material prefixes to L, and let's just bring down the diffuse on that just a little bit. You can either do it through the color or through the weight. I think for that, yeah, that's great. So there you go. I hope you can see how quick and easy Redshift proxies are to use and how they can be of a huge benefit of both managing your scene efficiency and also giving you variations with a lot of geometry within your scene. This is Mike Griggs for 3D World. I hope you've enjoyed this video.